Hello and welcome, this is EagleEye621, and today we're here to talk about a General Item Duping Glitch for Java 1.16. This does work in the current 1.16.2. However, if you are on a server that runs something like Paper or Spigot, you do need to double check, as they are generally much faster to patch these kind of bugs. Now, we're actually in my easy Wither Skull world, because this is one of the speed strats for that dupe. In order for this duplication glitch to work, you are going to need to find a Baby Piglin, and they're not super common spawns. You can see all these other things that obviously were not put there with spawn eggs, because I wouldn't do that. And they do take up the mob cap, so this trick is to help reset the mob caps very quickly and in the right places. Now, when you're doing this in your world, the biome you are going to want is to look for a crimson forest. The piglins do spawn in nether wastes as well, but less things spawn in the crimson forest, so you're more likely to get a piglin spawn, and that means more likely for a baby piglin spawn. So I'll show you this very quickly, and then I will take you through that item dupe. If I could ask you to just take one moment to scroll down and double check that you are still subscribed. Sometimes YouTube does like to unsubscribe people. I would really appreciate that. And no eggs. I don't know what you guys think you saw. So the way that this quick mob reset works is with linking nether portals. So you can see this nether portal right here, and I do apologize for some sounds. We're doing this in creative. It shouldn't be too much. And then when you come into the overworld, there's a water chute to take you up to build height. This is a little command block that's just going to take me there faster, so you don't have to wait. And now that we are up here at the top, there is another nether portal, and you're going to go through this one. And we are right now above where we were a few moments ago. If you look at this, you can tell I do have a terrible computer, and my frames are hurting from all the loading and unloading. But we are above that spot. If you just wait a few seconds, you can go through. And now back in the overworld, you just jump down to the bottom, and hopefully into a nice little water platform that you have there for yourself. And now when you go back into the nether, you can see all of those original mobs were gone and replaced with new ones, which is what we want. Now, the new ones we're looking for are baby piglins, so let's go over to an area that I designated over here, where I did find one in the wild and captured with a great name there. And let me show you how this works and what you need. And what you need is actually really not a whole heck of a lot. You want a nice tool. These don't have to be the perfect tools that I have. I'll have some iCards to this. But the beauty of this Sharpness 5 netherite axe is that it does one-shot the piglins, whereas your perfect sword, which does have smite, doesn't. The Sharpness 5 doesn't either. So let's grab both of these. And then you are going to need a gold ingot. You don't need a whole stack, just one. And you're also going to need something to duplicate. So I recommend Shulker Boxes, because it's much faster to duplicate a whole Shulker Box than a single item. And you can fill these Shulker Boxes with whatever you want. Although a word of caution, don't duplicate if you're on a server that does not allow for duplication. And if you duplicate the wrong thing, you may find that you lose interest in your survivor world. Some things like shulker shells are not super uncommon to dupe, just because to get enough of them for a technical world, the world file would be huge. And sometimes non-renewables like sponges as well. You don't want to expand your world too much. But if you dupe the wrong thing, again, you may find yourself uninterested. And the way that this works, and for this, let me just put on a little bit of armor so that if I get attacked, it's not a big deal. Because we are going to go into survival mode, and we're going to want to duplicate this. You may also want to duplicate your perfect armor or your perfect weapons, whatever you want. So let's jump into this little guy right here. And let's also go into survival mode, and I am going to throw him whatever it is that I want duped. So in this case, it is this Shulker Box full of goodies, and he's going to hopefully pick that up. Now, I'm going to get my perfect axe ready. If you aren't using this, then you do need to make sure that this mob is brought down to a one-shot kill. Now, you throw it some gold, and as soon as it picks up the gold, you kill it, and you can see I now have 2 of these Shulker Boxes, and these items are real. They're not ghost items of any kind. You have them, you can use them, you can chuck them on the ground. They are real items. And just like that, you have made a duplicate. And of course, the reason you want to use the Shulker Boxes is because instead of duplicating a single netherite block, you can duplicate a whole chest full of those. So let's go back into creative mode for a moment. Let's get rid of all of these items, and let's duplicate something else. As I said, how about we duplicate the perfect armor or the perfect tools and weapons box. Now, let's bring another one. This one is summoned in with a command. It just gives me a Baby Piglin, so I don't have to keep looking for them. And to do it with a sword, so not an axe, if you're afraid you're not going to be able to do the crit hit with the axe, again, I'm going to go into survival mode. I'm going to hit it once, and now I'm going to throw it the shulker that I want to duplicate. And let's see if it wants to cooperate with me and actually pick it up. Please pick it up. There we go. And let's get an ingot ready. Throw it the ingot and get ready with the sword. As soon as it picks it up, kill it. And you can see we now have 2 boxes of perfect weapons. And just like that, you have a very simple dupe that does work in Java 1.16. Let me also be sure to give some shout outs. I believe the first person I found on YouTube that did this was somebody called the Duper Trooper, which I will have a link to as well. But I heard of this from Ray's Works, who gave credit to Elo, who I will link to as well. And Ray actually has a fully automatic version of this, which will duplicate roughly just under twice per minute in an AFK fully automatic way. So if you're interested in kicking this up a little bit of notch, I will show you that. If you do the trick where I showed you, where you continue to load and unload the world, I do find that is a little bit faster, but also a lot more manual. So once again, don't do this if you're on a server that does not permit such things, and also be careful that you don't lose interest in your world, because these farms really just take over most other farms in terms of productiveness. They're not really farms. Some things it's good for, some things you want to avoid. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like. Found it interesting, maybe even share it with one of your friends. And for more videos like this, do be sure to subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.